If you're marketing your company on LinkedIn, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm going to explain how AI is going to change LinkedIn marketing forever in a good and bad way, depending on the situation you're in. If you're watching this video right now, I believe that you have 2 to 5 months to really use AI to get ahead, which I'm going to break down in this video. Because in 6 months to a year from now, I believe AI will be so strong that everyone will have access to it, and thus no one has a competitive advantage on LinkedIn. Now, this isn't a theory. I'm going to show you exactly my strategy to pump out LinkedIn content that actually works. And I'm going to cover some steps I'm taking to future-proof my brand and build my business a moat that no one else can copy. If you're marketing your business on LinkedIn, this might be one of the most important videos you watch this year to understand where the platform is headed. And I'm going to dive right into the proof of how this has been able to transform my own LinkedIn strategy. So 100% of my LinkedIn content recently has been all AI. I simply just throw a picture on it and I let AI write out the post. Now you can see it's getting pretty good engagement. 92 engagements, 50, 22, 62, 42, 90 again. That is not too bad. I'm no LinkedIn guru. I don't have a big following. This is pretty good engagement for the size of my account, and I'm getting consistent attention and opportunities, which is, again, why we're building a LinkedIn profile, right? To get leads. And these are my impressions right here. Now, this is great, and I'm going to show you my strategy in a second for actually creating these LinkedIn posts, but the effort required is almost zero, all right? And that's exactly the problem. And this could start what I like to call the AI LinkedIn apocalypse, right? Because when everything is easy, there is no competitive advantage. AI is making LinkedIn content indistinguishable, which leads me to the commoditization of LinkedIn. Commoditization essentially refers to an effect where everyone can do the same thing. The only thing that really becomes valuable from a business perspective is beating your competition out on price. When everyone's trying to compete for price, it's a fight for price, and the price gets lower and lower and lower, meaning you can't charge much, meaning your service is honestly not too valuable because every single person can do it. All right. Again, think what happens when every single person can have an AI generated content that is professionally written and that actually performs well. Well, the engagement rates will no longer perform well. LinkedIn algorithm gets overwhelmed. The trust in a platform erodes, and then you carefully built an audience that just stops paying attention, right? When every single post is super good and super quality and all AI written, and you could pump out 10 of them a day, where is the real competitive advantage here? Now, are there a few things that you could do in a few tweaks? Yes, there are, and I'm going to show you those in a second. But the overall thing is that when there's a lot of competition, and you can sort of see a graph here, the AI adoption rate, when it gets high, the value of LinkedIn gets low. Simply, this is all with all written platforms, right? This is with blogs, this is with Twitter, this is with LinkedIn, this is potentially with newsletter. And again, there are ways you can get around this. I'm going to show you in a second. But this is sort of the commoditization effect that AI has on these written platforms. When there's zero barrier to entry, there's a lot of volume. When there's a lot of volume, it's just harder to compete. Okay, so that is the overall effect of why I think AI is going to crush a lot of these marketing platforms. And LinkedIn is one of the main ones because the people on there are very smart and they're going to start to catch up to this stuff. Okay, the professional facade is also crumbling. You can see a lot of people are just using LinkedIn for humble brags and using AI generated stuff. You can sort of tell now with some of the dashes. By the way, this whole YouTube script, by the way, is generated by AI. I'm going to show you how we're doing that in a second as well. It's pretty powerful what you do with AI. It's insane, right? This is living proof that this stuff works really well. Okay, and people can feel, right, AI generated content and LinkedIn content for the most part, which again just destroys trust for most of the people on a platform, and it's just not where you want to be. And again, the reason this is happening is because the barrier to entry for good LinkedIn content has effectively dropped to zero. You could use ChatGPT and Claude to write out a week's worth of content in 10, 20 minutes. You could use GT4 to actually analyze your audience and craft targeted messages. There's actually crazy workflows you could put together where you scraped all these LinkedIn posts. You could put it into a script writer, and then you could just write scripts off the back of it using your knowledge base. If you wanted a live demo of how to build out this stuff, just comment down below live demo and I can actually build out this stuff live, but it's out there, it's insane, and it's actually not too hard to build. And finally, AI tools could just scheduleize and optimize your posts for you. All right, so this makes the barrier to entry low. When barrier to entry gets low, competition gets high. When competition gets high, it's obviously just harder to compete. All right, now there still is an opportunity, and this is another bold take. All of your favorite AI LinkedIn expert people are going to be selling you ghostwriters by the end of the year. They're all going to see this, and a lot of them already have. You might be seeing it on LinkedIn. They're all just going to sell you AI ghostwriters, right? Which are super easy to build, and again, just defeats the whole purpose of LinkedIn. If everyone has a ghostwriter, why does anyone need a ghostwriter? Like, what is the whole point here, right? Now, another thing you could do is use AI to get ahead. Now, this is sort of what I do. This is exactly my strategy. I navigate to my AI content dashboard. I go to my LinkedIn bot, ask for ideas, pick an idea, generate the post, generate and edit the post. It takes me a few minutes. I actually read it. This is another thing I highly recommend, to read the output that you get from AI. Don't just post 100%. use it to generate 100% and then edit it a few times here and there. I copy and paste it to LinkedIn, I add a picture and I schedule it out. That is literally what I do. So I'll show you this live, guys. I come to my dashboard. This is my content dashboard. It has all my content ideas, has a knowledge base of my company and exactly what I've been able to achieve, results, my ICP, my offer, all of the above right here. You can see like this is my company and our offer and the results we've been able to drive for our clients. I come here, I come to the repurposing center. I grab a YouTube video that I've posted in the past. So for example, let's do this video right here. I select LinkedIn because I want to generate a LinkedIn post and I hit repurpose and then goes ahead and repurpose the video for me. So basically in a second here, I'm going to have a LinkedIn post that, how long did that take me? That took me like 30 seconds. I'm going to see this LinkedIn post. I'm going to draft it out. I'm going to read it. I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to schedule it and it's done. I do 10 of those in the next 10 minutes and I have LinkedIn posts for the rest of the month, right? There's not much that goes into LinkedIn in terms of the volume at which you post at. So it's pretty crazy what you can do with LinkedIn. And I'll sort of give you a second to see that this is going to generate live. And you can sort of see some of the output we've been able to achieve. And I could sort of show you some other ones as well after this one. Now you can see live that this just popped up right here, the 3 deadly sins of AI content and how to avoid them. This is a LinkedIn post, guys. Like this is a LinkedIn post. Now what I would do here is I would save it to my draft board. I'll go down to drafts. I would take my LinkedIn content here once it loads, and then I'll draft it out, schedule it, publish it, have it on my content calendar, etc. All right, it's really that easy when it comes to LinkedIn content. And it's pretty scary because, I mean, again, I could generate hundreds of these and I could just post them. And what's the competitive advantage there? So I could do this for no more than 10 minutes a day and I could fill my requirement for LinkedIn for the month. Let's just say 30 minutes for the month for 30 days of content. Right? Pretty crazy what you could do. This is the advantage. If you want a free demo of how this dashboard works, how we built and all this stuff, you can check out my other videos, or if you go down to our website, you can see a completely free demo, how we actually do all of our content through that system that I just mentioned to you, right? And some of the results we've been able to drive for other people. Now, this works so well because, again, I don't have to think about it. And if it works well for me, now we're in the minority using AI, but there's going to be a time where it works well for everyone. All right. Now, the last platform standing, platforms that require more effort, less competition, more room for us to grow. Now, I think YouTube is the best example here, and I'm going to shift my attention to YouTube. This is why I'm going hard on this platform, and I recommend you to do the same, right? Despite script writing tools, to create a video, you still need your face on camera, your voice, your personality, and your expertise on action. Guys, a lot of people don't have these. A lot of people, first of all, they won't even show their face. They won't even speak. A lot of people have personality, so everyone has this. They just have to bring it out. And finally, this is huge, expertise in action. Anyone can also BS LinkedIn. You could just go there and you could just lie. No one's going to hold you to the account that you could just lie on LinkedIn. On YouTube, not everyone could just sit here and BS for 15 minutes, right? You have to know what you're talking about. You have to have proof. You have to have systems, results, systems I just showed you. It's very hard to fake this platform. That's why it gains the most respect and you get the best lead quality, right? These human elements cannot be fully automated away. At some point in the future, maybe, but I think YouTube will be the last platform standing in marketing, which is why you want to start now. Another thing is that search intent versus scroll intent. On LinkedIn, people are scrolling and they're just seeing you, right? It's almost becoming a dopamine scroll. Now, some people are looking for your stuff, not really. On YouTube, people will actually look for your stuff. They'll actually search and they'll actually look for a specific problem to the solution. Like if you have a specific solution to their problem. If you have a question, are you going to go to LinkedIn search bar or the YouTube search bar or the Google search bar? Google and YouTube are the same thing because Google owns YouTube, right? So 99.9% of people are going to Google and YouTube. No one's going to LinkedIn for search to their questions, all right? And also the trust factor, again, is that when people can see you, your expressions, who you are, what you do, what you believe in, how you speak, how you carry yourself, which is only done through media and video, people will gravitate to your channel and people will want to watch your stuff more and thus become more nurtured and thus want to buy more. Text is text, guys. A 5-year-old can write text, an 80-year-old can write text, I can write text, you can write text. There's no personality in text. Now there's writing styles, which is super intricate and it definitely makes a difference, but every single person has a unique advantage with content because every single person is unique by nature. Okay, so that is why YouTube and media is super, super powerful. Another thing is the longevity of the content. LinkedIn posts probably last for a few hours unless you hit a super viral run, maybe a few days that keeps on carrying over, which is cool. I have videos on YouTube from 10 months ago still making me money and getting me views, right? So I posted this one 222 days ago, and every single day it gets a few views. And, you know, since we do it right, these are targeted views. People don't want to buy our stuff and work with us. All right. So those are a few reasons why I think YouTube is going to crush, and media in general is just going to crush LinkedIn content. And this is the actual strategy that works. All right. This is the actual YouTube strategy that we have used to do over $250,000 through small YouTube channels for our clients and ourselves. I'm going to break it down really quickly for you. The first thing is strategic content planning. this is what your clients want. All right. They want a specific outcome in the industry they're in. They want to know different ways to conquer their industry in short time frames, and they want to know why the stuff they're doing, the common approaches, are failing. All right. These are the questions that you have to formulate, and these are the videos you are going to create. And you just have to work backwards, guys. It's super easy. Find problems. So know your ICP. This is the most simple way I could describe doing this, right? After scripting out dozens of videos and actually putting strategies together, this is what you want to do. You want to know your ICP, understand their pain. After you understand their pain, you want to ideate based on pain, and then you want to turn it into validated content idea. Now, what does this look like? This is exactly what I did for this video. I know my ICP is people out there that are on these other marketing platforms that I think have a disadvantage, like LinkedIn. Next, I understand their pain, right? They're probably scared of AI or they don't know how to use AI. So both of those are solved by this video. I show you why AI is good and why it's also sort of bad for the platform. Then I ideate based on this pain, all right? I thought about, well, let's make a video showing people why it's sort of dangerous to market on LinkedIn 100% and how you can get a small advantage, but long-term you should switch to YouTube or other media platforms. And finally, I validate these content ideas by doing research and going on YouTube itself and going on blog posts itself and seeing what people are watching and consuming and what's getting engagement. Right? That is the best approach I could give you. It's super straightforward, and this is where you want to start for creating content ideas on platforms that actually work. The next thing is create content systems, not just videos, right? The real power comes from a content machine. So I could show you right there in our dashboard, you can see, again, demo of our dashboard on our website, is we post on YouTube, which is the top of our sort of hierarchy of content. Then we use AI to repurpose to LinkedIn and Twitter, which I just showed you, and all these other platforms as well. Now, we're not on all of them right now, but we're mainly on Instagram. So we repurpose down to these platforms, and then you have all of these companies, all of these massive social media platforms. Like, these social media platforms hold billions and billions of people and thousands of leads for us, right? Now you have all of these platforms coming down and working for us to book in calls with less time, because we're using AI to get to here. We're using AI to get to here. Most of this video is also made by AI, except for me recording it. All right, this whole script was written by AI. A lot of this stuff is automated, which is really, really cool. We're able to gather attention. And if you don't know, we're in a attention economy, guys. Attention economy. This is the game. Hopefully I spelled that right. I don't know why it looks weird, but attention economy, this is where we are in. This is where we are headed. You need eyeballs to sell your stuff, right? And this is how we're able to gather a lot of eyeballs and the right eyeballs on all these platforms at once, all right? And the final thing is we automate the right parts. So we use AI for content ideation, ICP research, and script and outlines like this video, but we keep my face in it, we keep my voice in it, we keep my expertise in it, and my stories in it. This one is massive. Stories, guys, again, what makes you unique is your face, your voice, and your stories. Expertise can be sort of replaced, but if everyone has unique face, voice, and stories about their life, where you come from, what you've learned, what you tried, what's failed. You all have these. You have to incorporate it in your content, especially on LinkedIn. That will make you stand out more, but especially on YouTube as well, because this is what makes you different. This will make people like you sort of get with you and understand you and want to buy with you. All right. That is massive. That is huge. And although a lot of this stuff can be sort of automated, like for example, the face and the voice, I could use stuff like HeyGen or 11 Labs, these AI platforms, to actually go ahead and, automate my face. I could be an avatar. I could be a clone. But I choose not to, because the human touch of this stuff is still super important, so people could understand the passion I have for it, my expertise, how I speak, if they would want to work with me. I've gotten people in the door that wanted to work with me just based on the way I deliver value, all right? And that's something that AI right now cannot replace, all right? So I'm automating the right parts of these platforms. I'm using AI to get attention on all of these platforms, and I'm ideating based on this sort of work backwards approach. Know my ICP, understand their pain, ideate based on the pain, and then validate content ideas in the market. All right. And this works, guys, across the board. All right. Across the board. These are all the case studies down here. And you don't have to have a massive following on YouTube rather than LinkedIn to actually achieve crazy results. Armand here, 10K client, tiny YouTube channel. Alexandra, daily leads with I think she had 10 videos up. Nico, 40 sales calls, small YouTube channel. Small YouTube channels. And this one, we actually grew Nick's channel pretty well. But the point still stands, guys, is you do not have to have a large following or get a lot amount of views to get large results. And these are some of the wins that I've been able to achieve as well. You can see my videos, they get 100 to 400 views on the high end, sometimes thousands, depending on what I post about. So this is sort of what I wanted to break down to you guys. All right, YouTube allows you to showcase your authentic expertise in the way that AI cannot replace yet, maybe in the future, cannot replace yet. If you want to subscribe, I'll be covering the AI news if it could ever replace this stuff, and you'll be the first to know. But Don't post on LinkedIn. Don't stop posting on LinkedIn. I'm just saying take into account these other platforms and take into account the longevity of the platforms that you're marketing on. It's super important because you don't want to look up one day and then everyone's cranking out quality content that's no different than yours, and then followers don't matter and nothing matters anymore on that platform because it's all AI generated. And then you get to what I call dead internet theory. It's a theory. It's well known out there. You can look that up on your own time. But try to be on YouTube because a lot of people can't. They don't have the time for it. They don't have the skills for it. If you want to book a free call or see our free training down below on how we're using AI to master YouTube, you can try to check that out down below. Post on LinkedIn, but also take into account the future of the platform and try to hedge yourself by getting on something like YouTube. All right, we have a free community, free training, and we have our free demo of our dashboard down in the description. They're all free. They're all links there. If you want to talk with me directly, you could also reach out to me on LinkedIn or any of these other platforms. And yeah, that is the video on why I think LinkedIn is good in the short term. In the long term, it's a little bit scary there, and why I think you should move to other platforms like YouTube and places with media, because it's going to be lower competition and there's still a really good gap for you guys to solve. You get ahead on the platform like YouTube here. If you like this video, please do drop a subscription or watch this video, which is some of our results on how we're able to use YouTube content to actually collect a significant amount of cash. Check out all the links in the description for free information, free community training, free call with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.